Hello and good afternoon. Hi everyone and welcome to our open door Q&A session, Ask Us Anything. My name is Liz Carter, the email marketing manager here for Charity Digital, and I'm your host today. I thought it'd be good to just start off with a bit of context about what our mission is all about. For those of you that don't know, maybe it's your first time joining us today. So Charity Digital is a charity that helps other charities increase their impact by being more digital. And we really have two primary charitable activities, and that is providing access to the software products charities need at dramatically reduced prices, and also publishing content such as articles or podcasts, videos, and running webinars and events that educate charity professionals and volunteers on how to make better use of digital tools and technologies. Now, we are here today in this session to answer any questions that you may have about the services we provide, give you any guidance that you might need, and encourage knowledge sharing between all of the charities present in this chat. So please feel free to add any questions to the chat box at any time. And it's always good to also share any tips and advice. And we just love that sharing time that we've got here in the session, and it's good to learn from others in the community. Before I carry on, I'm just going to introduce you to our team members here today. We've got Joel, and he's going to then present James. Thank you, Joel.
Hi. Yeah, hi Liz, thank you very much, and hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, my name is Joel Hogan, I'm the Programs Manager here at Charity Digital. Been around here for a while now, and I do various parts, sort of job roles across the business as well, including being on these Q&As for, well, I think we've been doing this for about a year now, or at least I think we've hit the anniversary for it. So yeah, looking forward to answering your questions and sort of sharing with our community today. So James.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. I'm James, I'm the e-commerce manager here at Charity Digital, and I'll be sort of helping around in the background today, so sharing any links or any resources that are discussed, I'll be putting those in the chat, so feel free to use the chat box to ask any questions.
Brilliant, thank you Joel and James, thank you. So before we crack on with your questions, I would just like to remind you that this webinar will be recorded. Well, it is being recorded at this moment in time. And the recording with the captions, slides, and any links discussed today will be made available to you over the coming days. So please keep an eye out for this in your inbox. Closed captions are available for this session, and instructions for these can be found in the chat box. So James has just placed them in there. Thank you very much. So as I said, ask your questions in the chat. We have received some questions, some pre-submitted questions in advance. So a big, massive thank you to those who have submitted these. And we will run through these to start off with, and then we'll make our way through the questions that are in the chat. Once the session ends, or if you do have to pop off any earlier before we finish, you will be prompted for feedback. Please, please, please fill out the form. We love to hear your thoughts, your comments, and we just really want to know how we can continue to help your organisation. So please take just a few minutes of your time to share your thoughts with us. So without further ado, I am going to ask the first pre-submitted question. And this is from Jody. From Popeye in the community. Is there a free or cheaper alternative to Brand24 for tracking brand sentiment, mentions, engagement, etc.? Joel, can I hand this over to you?
Yeah, I'll do my best this one, a little bit specific, but you might want to check out the charity discounts provided by Hootsuite, as they do more than just social media scheduling. They're a very useful tool. There's a great offer which you can go via the Charity Digital Exchange and get to a 75% discount on subscriptions. And as well, you can also get up to a 50% discount on courses and certifications as well. So that you might be able to save some funds compared to your current provider by checking out Hootsuite.
Great, that's good discounts there, isn't it? 75% and 50%. Great. Okay, we've got a question from Andy from Music Masters. At our charity, we have a Google account linked to one email address, but we have been struggling to manage this account with the introduction of two-step verification. The members of staff keep getting locked out. We do, however, have a Google for Non-for-Profits account, which I think includes Google Workspace. Would introducing Google Workspace solve our problem? And how best should we utilize Workspace and other non-profit products? I know this is a very specific question, which may be more IT operations related, but Joel, you are the man to answer this.
Sure. Well, firstly, your comment on Google for Non-Profits and their non-profit offers, definitely take advantage of it. It can be transformational for your organization in terms of going like the Google AdWords and trying to get your charity's name out there as well, and you get access to some other useful discounts as well. So certainly take advantage. But moving over to Google for Non-Profits will not solve your two-factor authentication issues, as multi-factor or two-factor authentication is nearly becoming a standard for most websites and software providers now, due to the demand for increased security. So it's something that you're going to have to get used to, I'm afraid, with whether it's two-factor, multi-factor, having an app with a code or something like that, and you probably might have several for different ones. I know I have a Google app code myself, which is used for several different accesses to software. So yeah, it won't solve your issue, and you will need to, moving over to Google Workspace or Google for Non-Profits, where there still most likely will be a multi-factor or two-factor authentication requirement. So the best thing to do is just to try and do a digital audit with your team, just track who's been keeping sort of login details, that kind of thing as well. Ensure that your login details are actually secured correctly as well. There's some software out there like that. Actually, Dashlane on our exchange is really good for password management. You go into something like that. But yeah, that'd be my, maybe not the answer you're looking for with that, but yeah, just welcome to the world of multi-factor authentication. Can't escape it now.
We can't escape it. Thanks, Joel, for that. I hope that's helped, Andy. Okay, we've got another question from Claire from the Lobular Breast Cancer UK. We are contemplating the use of a CRM as a means to rationalize our use of digital platforms, create new efficiencies as we are all volunteers, and improve our data security and GDPR. We simply don't know where to start, and how can Charity Digital help? Now, shall I just kick off with this and say that please check out our guide to choosing the right CRM. I think James is going to put a link in there. It's Topics, an easy guide to choosing CRM system. And we also did a podcast about choosing the right CRM linked on this page. So I think James will put that there. Joel, correct me if I'm wrong, that Salesforce is great if you do have the funds or the personnel to implement it and to train with it. For small charities, we probably would recommend Donor Perfect. Or Joel, if you've got another one there.
Yeah, so Donor Perfect is good for charities who maybe have smaller records, and it also has a really good, I've spoken about it before, a really good automation for gift aid claims, which is a really, really nice feature, because that can get a little bit messy. Outside of that, you might want to check out an offshoot program of Zoho called Begin. So it's a little bit more of a stripped down version of Zoho. I mean, Zoho's great. It does fall, it's a massive CRM potential there. And again, if you have the staff or the ability to invest in training for it and understanding it, that's great. But Begin is like a stripped down version of that, with maybe some less bells and whistles which can be a good thing to stop sort of confusion with too many buttons. It can get a little bit intimidating. I know it can be for me with some software from time to time as well. And yeah, again, if you have smaller record counts, but you can increase those as well. So yeah, Donor Perfect, as Elizabeth said, or yeah, something like Begin could be a good starter for you as well.
That's right. And I believe that James has put some links in there for check-outing our guides. And there's an article as well that you might find useful, the best CRM systems for charities. And yeah, thank you very much for that, Joel. I think we've covered that, haven't we, with the purchase and the Donor Perfect, really, to explore. So thank you. We do have a follow-on to the first question by Dawn Lynch. The issue we have with the authentication is which device the code goes to, particularly around hybrid working and staff leave. Any answer here? It's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always trouble with that when you have perhaps you might be using personalized email addresses. Something to maybe get around that is maybe to have it associated with a generic inbox that has multiple people having access to it. So generally speaking, like your info at, your administrators at, admin at, all that kind of thing, you might want to sort of associate any sort of multi-factor authentication or anything like that with generic inboxes that have multi-user logins. And then aside for that, you've got to go straight to the source of the problem as well, and just ensure that, we'll take, bring your patient's wall up with you as well, and just make sure that you can, they will be able to get you over the line eventually. I would suggest probably if you can communicate with the provider, I think you say Google in this place, try and open up like a ticket with them or via email, so you've got everything written down. It can be a back and forth. I tend to find that things can get a little bit inconsistent with things like phone calls. I know we do like a good phone call still with that inter-realism, but having things written down when you can always refer back to would be another suggestion when communicating with them.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. I hope that's helped for you there, Dawn. If anyone else has got any tips or advice on that, then please feel free to stick it in the chat, and yeah, we'll read it out. So raising a ticket sounds the way to go. Yes. Okay. We have another question from a parish church, and it's Benachi. I'm not too sure whether I've pronounced that correctly. Our church cafe accepts payments by card for the purchase of food and drinks. The card payments provider WorldPay requires us to provide names, 3-year address history, and dates of birth for each of our 50 or so trustees to satisfy money laundering regulations, and we may not be able to fulfill this request. Are there any options to take card payments that do not require trustee information to be shared with a third party? Joel, what do you think on this one?
Sure, it's a tricky one, and definitely a conundrum there with the information that's required, and so I can see why you're looking at alternatives. It's not a main area of my expertise in terms of implementing payment systems like that, but in terms of alternatives out there, there's plenty. You might want to check out PayPal as an option. We're a good advocator. We quite like Stripe, which has become more and more popular over the years as well. Stripe could be an alternative way for you to collect payments. There's other examples as well, like Amazon Pay for business. There's a lot out there. Whether or not they still have the same requirements regarding your history, I mean, 50 or so trustees is a lot to get through. I can certainly understand that, but I wouldn't fully know if they have that same requirement. It's not something that I've come across in my career yet.
Okay, yeah, I mean, thank you so much for that, Joel. Thank you. If anyone else would like to share any comments on that, that'd be really good as well. We've had another pre-submitted question from Brent Carers Centre. We wish to build a new interactive web platform and portal for our carers and volunteers to log in and book their requests, as well as look at vital information. As I don't have tech background, I would like to ask what tech skill requests I should be advertising for when seeking tech assistant to help build this new platform portal to ensure it's up and running smoothly by January next year. What do you think, John?
Yeah, a couple of ideas. Again, some specifics, but I think I can point you in the right direction. First, in terms of advice, there's a fantastic organisation called Digital Candle, which I've recommended before. They have a list of I think it's over 550 experts across the sort of digital sector and other areas as well, where you can actually book a consultation with them with your question. So you submit your question via their website, and then they'll link you with somebody who has the experience to answer that, or they will seek that out for you. So hopefully that could be a first step for you in terms of sort of helping you with the tech side of things. As a suggestion, as a platform, at least partly for the sort of volunteer use. You might want to check out Volunteero as well. It's a great platform which I've done a little bit of sort of work with in the past as well, which is really good for sort of tracking volunteers, their roles, timings, all that kind of thing. So that could be potentially one of the solutions when you're into implementing the technology. But definitely first start off with taking advantage of Digital Candle, as it is another form of free advice that charities should really be taking advantage of.
Great, thank you, Joel. Thank you so much for that. Thanks. Yeah. That's great. So we have come to the end of our pre-submitted questions, and now we're going to roll over to our in-chat question. So our first one is from Abby, and I'd love some more information on social media management platforms. I've read the guide online, which is the guide, the best social media management platforms for charities. But I believe this was prior to the great discount with Hootsuite. Was that right, Joel?
Yeah, sorry, the question thrown up. Yeah, some more information about social media platform. We always get this one quite a lot. Did we commission one recently, or is that how old is that article? Because I know we can't.
So that one is from 2020. We've just been having a look in the background, just at some of our other social media articles that we have. So I'm just going to post the link to a few of them. Not quite on the nose of what you've been asking, but the most useful one may be the social media facts for 2023. The Hootsuite discount is really good. That is 75% off, up to 75% off Hootsuite. And yeah, I'm sure we could look into this and then send some more resources afterwards as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good. Thank you, James. Yeah, thanks for popping that in the chat. And like James has said, I think we will look into this, and we will send out more resources when we actually send out the recording and all of the links. So keep your eye out for that. Another question we've got from Kate. A question about GA4. If there's time, if anyone's aware of good, fairly simple, if possible, guides to using Google Analytics 4, we have switched over. We have been switched over by our web developer company, and I'm finding it a little difficult and slow to get the hang of. Any ideas, tips, links would be great. Thank you. Is anybody else on this session using this? Can anyone else share any comments or advice? Joel, do you know anything about the full version?
I haven't. Yeah, it's not something that I've had to use too much in my time. If at all, really, Google Analytics, it's jumped out of my way. I know there's a few people that perhaps internally that might be able to help out with that question that we could take away.
Yeah, Gary has said that the Google Academy cover it. So maybe that would be something to actually look into as well.
Yeah.
Have I missed any comments on the chat for that, Joel or James?
Not that I can see in the chat. Yeah, Google Academy should be good. Also, even just things like YouTube are a really good resource, aren't they?
Always, yeah.
They're always our go-to, aren't they?
It's my cheat code, to be honest. I think I said last time I learned to fix a washing machine thanks to YouTube. So it has everything on there, and teaching quite in depth as well. Which you find a particular topic, there'll be so many different variations of it. So yeah, YouTube, and also it's why I love these our Q&As there as our communities. So always great to support it, provide suggestions that maybe we're not instantly aware of as well. So I really love that.
Yeah, agreed completely. Okay, carry on asking your questions in the chat. I'm going to move over to a question from Claire. We currently use Buffer to schedule social media posts, but I've heard a lot about Hootsuite. I'd like to be able to change link images in the scheduler for Twitter and Facebook, and it seems this is possible with Hootsuite. Is it more expensive, however, even with the discount? So maybe there are alternative ways of doing this. We keep finding that Twitter only trolls for link images every 7 days. So would be great to find a way to update these faster. I didn't know that actually, every 7 days. It's quite long, isn't it?
If you're looking at an alternative to general sort of scheduling to social media, obviously there's one we've mentioned quite a lot, is Adobe Express as well. That has a feature, it has a social media scheduling feature, which you could take advantage of. It's very similar to Canva. It's Adobe Express, but comes with the social media scheduling tool as well, and it's completely free for up to 10 people of your charity, which you can get from our website as well. So as an alternative to social media scheduling, by all means, do check out Adobe Express.
And thank you, James. James has put a link in there for Adobe Express, so thank you very much. I'm just checking the chat to see whether there's any comments for the recent questions that we've had. I don't think there is there? Okay.
Just look now.
Yeah, we've got
We just had
recent
one.
Yeah, from Abby. Is there a, oh, it's just disappeared, that one there. So I'm just going to bring that question up again from Abby in the chat there. Is there any way to compare discounts for social media management platforms? Oh, is there a way? I'm sure that there must be something on there online that we can compare all the discounts.
Yeah, we could also suggest it as a maybe short form piece of content. So we can definitely suggest that, and then if that gets published, we can send that across.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good if we can suggest that. I find that we don't advertise them on their website individually, so that would be great. Yeah, you're right, Abby, they don't. So
a lot of them want you
might...
to inquire before you get the pricing, don't they? So good to get some research done on that.
It would be really good to do some in-depth research on that. So leave that with us, and we'll see if we can get sort of some content organized for that, and we can forward on. So do we have any more questions?
Yeah,
I
just
know,
had another.
Yeah, okay, great. So let me just check the chat out for that. Do you know what Microsoft Digital Transformation Journey offers for charities that are accepted onto their program?
Sure. So it's, I haven't received the full details, but it's, if you've been accepted, that's great news. I think it's quite a long project that they invested you for. I think it's around 6 months in terms of, I think there's sort of training, there's some self sort of development tools that they'll be giving you as well to sort of, again, that kind of falls under training as well. That's the most that I've been revealed from the digital transformation journey that I'm aware of. But you'll be advised if you have been accepted, then you will be, once you sort of start the progress, then you'll be given a sort of a guide of what's going to be coming along your way on that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Joel, for that. I've had another question that's come in directly. Joel, I think this is for you as well. I see multiple options for Adobe, so keeping on the Adobe topic on your website, but I don't know which one to get. We just need a PDF editor.
Okay, yeah, sure. So yeah, I can understand the confusion in terms of Adobe Acrobat. So we have something called Adobe Acrobat Pro, and then you'll see something called the Adobe Acrobat DC subscription plan. So Adobe Acrobat Pro is a desktop license so you purchase it and you install it on a specific device, and you'll be able to simply edit the PDFs that you would. That's exactly what you'd expect from Adobe Acrobat. The DC plan is the cloud subscription version of that. So it will allow you to log in to edit PDFs from multiple devices. And it also comes, because it's the cloud version, it's got a little bit more features to it, such as signing as well, so you can digitally sign there as well. In terms of cost, if you're simply looking to have a PDF editor, then I would strongly recommend just the Adobe Acrobat Pro license. I believe it's £50. It's a one-off payment, and then that will last. Currently, the license, if you purchase that today, it will last all the way until December 2026, which is 3 years, or just over 3 years. So that's so £50 for basically over 3 years, just so to get you Adobe PDF editing, which is great. With the DC plan, we do provide a 13% discount off the DC Adobe Pro plan for the first year only. Now, it's a fantastic piece of software, but even with the discount, yearly or annually, you're going to be paying, it's around £300 for the year for one user. So, you know, those kind of costs can stack up quite a lot, especially, you know, with the sort of the cost of living crisis and cost of living crisis that we're in right now. So depending on your needs, like you just said, there's a PDF. If you just want to edit PDFs, then go for the Adobe Acrobat Pro, the £50 one. It's £50 up front. You're covered for 3 years, compared to the other one, which you're paying at least £300 a year for a user.
Brilliant. Thanks, Joel. It's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it, really? So thank you. We've had a fantastic question in the chat. What would be your favourite resource that charities can access through Charity Digital or Exchange? Well, Joel, you really know, I guess, from all of your years of experience, what is the favourite resource?
The favourite resource that charities can access through Charity Digital or Exchange. Or Exchange. Okay, so it's a bit of both there. I mean, obviously, a lot of people here today have come for us via Charity Digital, which is our content website. We call that as well. The fact that all the resources there are for free, in terms of articles, podcasts, webinars, Q&As, events, all these type of things are free. I really like the fact that all the content can be quite can be aimed to like job titles as well. So I'd always encourage multiple users of the same charity to sign up, as different content will suit you. So you could be somebody who's in the social media or the marketing side of things. You could be the IT person. You could be somebody in leadership who want to talk about sort of onboarding and strategy and things like that. So there's a topic for that for everyone, and it's great for a free resource. And I also like the fact that we've been doing really well on our sort of climate crisis content as well. It's going on for at least a year now. It feels like that anyway. I like the fact that it's the link between climate crisis and how software and being more digital can leave its own digital footprint on the effects of our environment. I think it's really important as well. So in terms of how much you get in that sense, I think that's I'd say probably one of my favourites of what we do.
And maybe others would like to add their favourites as well. If you have access, what's your favourite resource really with us? So,
what about you, Liz?
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I said, what about you, Liz? What's your favourite resource?
What about me?
You've been here long
oh
enough.
My goodness. Well, yeah, I just a favourite resource. I actually really, really, really love our webinars. I have to say that, and they're all free. I know, and it's not because we do our, Q&As, but it's just the other webinars that Content do and that everyone else does. Yeah, I think we really add a lot of impact with those. Yeah. So that's my favourite.
I have to say our events as well, and we've got a great event.
Our events,
digital
yes.
fundraising summit coming up as well in November coming up. So that's always done well when it's previously known as Digital Fundraising Day. Is really, really great, and that's a free event. And then we've also, in the past we've had our Be More Digital conference as well, which I've always really enjoyed, and it's really nice to get people from different sizes of charities. So and they're able to interact with maybe other people or members of charities that maybe they feel they might have not had the chance to interact with. So you do get that mix of micro charities, which I particularly love, as every big things have small beginnings, as some might say. You have that mixing with these something really huge, massive organisations who are delivering impact, and you can sort of exchange ideas. I think, yeah,
that's it. I agree completely. The networking is really, really good in our events. Yes. Definitely. Now we've got another question, so I'm going to move on to email marketing. But please, if you have any more questions, pop them in the chat. And this question is about A/B split testing, and it says, what A/B elements should I be testing in my emails? Now, if you don't know, A/B testing or split testing, that it's sometimes called, is a way of working out what options is the best, the most effective in encouraging opens or clicks or engagement. So most email marketing platforms offer some sort of resource for testing. And one of our products that we resell onto charities is .digital. And we offer discounts for not only charities, but also for organizations that are non-for-profit, or you may be working with charities, or you may be a company and that you have a charity focus. So you can probably the best things to test would be the components of your email, which is the subject line, your calls to action, which is in your content, and the timing. So try sending on different days or at different times to see which is the best for your audience, and also the from field. So do people respond better if it's a real name in the from field, or is it better with a generic or a company name? So a split test will help you decide what is better and what is making that real top metrics show up. So it is crucial to have a clear hypothesis and only test one thing at a time, so you know what is working. So I hope that has helped with that question. And I'm going to move on. Do we have another one here? Yes, we do. Our charity is moving to a new office, but it doesn't come with any equipment. We have our own PC, laptops and printer. Are there any offers to charities to help them get on the internet?
Sure. Yeah.
Joel.
Yeah, of course. I would say via Charity Digital Exchange, you might want to take advantage of our Cisco range. For it definitely sounds like you need to build a network to obviously help set up your broadband, later the internet. Cisco is a world-renowned provider of hardware in terms of routers and virtual VPNs as well, and all the sort of cablings and Ethernet sort of cables that come with it as well. So yeah, there's big charitable discount on much of the Cisco and Cisco Meraki hardware that's out there as well. Cisco recently expanded the eligibility of the program a little bit in terms of how much you could request every US fiscal year. So in the past, you could, there's a certain amount of money that you're allowed to spend on the hardware before you'd have to get the hardware at like a full sort of price directly with Cisco, but they've expanded the amount of funds. So I can't remember how much exactly it is. It's but they've increased it by a few $1,000s in terms of how much you're allowed to spend on charitable discounted products every US fiscal year. So yeah, to help set up your network, definitely check out our Cisco range. And if you're not the person who understands it that much, make sure you get your IT person or somebody who's going to be help setting up your network up to get in touch with us and have a chat about it.
Lovely, thank you, Joel. Thank you very much. If you have a question again, please put it in there, because we are coming down to our last one that has been submitted. Just before we move on to that, there was a general comment about Charity Digital, whether we have any links with Beacon CRM, but it has completely transformed their work and they love it. So that's a really nice comment there. Do we have any links with Beacon CRM, Joel?
No, we
don't.
But great recommendation, and thanks for sharing that with the community.
Yeah.
It's welcome to hear that kind of stuff. But no, we don't have a link with them as a CRM. We do have a link with various kind of CRM softwares out there and different types of strengths of relationships with CRM providers, but not the one that you've mentioned, unfortunately, though. But yeah, thank you for the recommendation.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. So let's just move on to our last question that we've got. And if you do have to drop off, please give us your feedback and just a couple of minutes of your time. Thank you. And the question is, our charity is looking to start to plan some events and we need some software to help us track attendees, payments, invoicing. Could you recommend any software for this? Joel,
Sure.
What could you recommend for us?
Yeah, on our website, there's a product called iDloom, IDLOOM, which does what you've actually just kind of mentioned there in terms of it helps you track your attendees, manage your payments, invoicing as well. And this can be used for physical or virtual events as well, like webinars and such. Yeah, on the exchange there's access to a light plan, for a really good, can't remember the price exactly, it's like 40 or £60, I think, for the year. And the value of that is actually quite high if you went direct. I think it's like $1,800, or I don't have access to it right now with the link, but yeah, the light plan is worth quite a bit. And you can actually renew that and get that charitable discount for 5 years. If you keep it going for about 5 years in a row, so you can keep 5 years, you can get that low cost via our website. After then, who knows? But yeah, it's something you can take advantage of in terms of if you're looking for event management software.
Yep, definitely, definitely. Well, we've come to the end of our questions. If you do have any more questions in the future and something just occurs to you, then on the screen you can see that you've got the customer service, which is the email address for that, and also for mail. And I'm, as I said in the introduction, the email marketing manager. So if you have any questions, mail in general, or if you wanted to find out any more about .digital, the product, the email marketing product that we resell onto charities, then please get in touch. Joel, could you just change it over to the next slide? And it's a big, massive thank you for attending. It's been great having you on. Thank you for sharing with us as well. Our next webinar is actually tomorrow. So that's on the slide there, and it's not too late for you to sign up if you wanted to join. And also, I'm going to say it again, and I'll probably, I don't know, get told off for saying it just once more, but please take a minute to share your opinion on the type form that you will receive. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, James. Thank you, Joel. It's been a lovely session again, and I look forward to touching base with you all very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.